The information is presented for educational purposes only, is not intended to diagnose or prescribe for any medical or psychological condition, or to prevent, treat, mitigate, or cure such conditions. This information is only presented herein for entertainment and educational purposes only. Hi, I'm David DeHaas of Living Waters Wellness Center, and welcome to the Whole Body Detox Show. I'm your host today. Living Waters Wellness Center is a Treasure Valley's largest colon hydrotherapy center and best known for a 10-day cleanse and healing retreat. To learn more about colon hydrotherapy and detoxifying the body, go to livingwaterscleanse.com. Watch the webinar, The 4 Natural Laws of Healing. I was once a medical refugee seeking out how to heal my body. By the age of 30, I was suffering from numerous symptoms, including allergies, severe fatigue, constipation, brain fog, joint pain, back pain, psoriasis, acne, and eventually cancer. I spent about 20 years learning how to heal my body. Now I teach others how they can recover using the 4 natural laws of healing. Each week, we bring you the information you need to discern how you can heal your body. Welcome to the show. Good morning, everyone. David DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center and host of the Whole Body Detox Show. Today's show, we're going to focus a lot about energy because at the end of the day, most of us are all about energy. Energy is around us. Energy is within us. It's what drives us to do things that we probably normally wouldn't do. We start relying upon aids of stimulation so we can have the energy that we need to get through the day. And throughout our lifetimes, because of certain habits or things that we have taken and digested, we have been basically compromised our body into not having near the natural energy that it should have. So we're going to talk about some of those habits, some of those things we've been taking today. And so we're going to begin today when we first take the food in. So one of the biggest things that I find today is that so many people listening to this show even, are consuming foods that are not serving your higher nutritional energy needs. And why can I say that? Well, if you walk into any grocery store and just look around, most of the aisles are boxed up, packaged up items that are full of chemicals and basically dead food. They're not going to sustain you and nourish you for your higher good and achievement. So that's where we have to begin. What are we getting from the store? I would submit to you that most of your shopping, most of my shopping is done in less than about 2,000 square feet of that store. Now you take the local Fred Meyer's, I believe that store is 110,000 square feet. Now granted, probably 60,000 square feet is gardening goods, soft goods, clothes, supplies, etc., etc. But most of those aisles, if you walk down them, are simply just garbage food. And it would have been me during the lockdown, as you heard me mention many shows ago. I would have completely yellow taped off certain aisles. I would have taped off the bread aisles because you don't need it. It constipates you. Most of you are eating foods, breads, for example, that come from a field that has been grown with wheat that is Roundup ready, which means it's full of glyphosate. And if you listen to my show about 3 weeks ago with Dr. Don Huber, you'll know why that's a super toxin. And you definitely want to avoid foods that have glyphosate. And they're in so many foods today. But even that, if you walk down the aisles a little further, most of the food, if you start looking on the labels, have a lot of chemicals in them. And your body's digestive system looks at that stuff and it says, what have you given me? So I usually shop in the organic section. It's very seldom that I walk out of the organic section, but I buy all organic. And someone today says, oh, that's so much more expensive. It'll cost me so much more money. Look, you're going to pay. You either invest now in a healthy body, or you'll be basically paying the doctors lots of money to do surgeries or whatever is going to come your way. Because I'm just going to tell you that these non-organic foods, these polluted foods that you are consuming now, your liver is dying. So maybe a great example. This happens nearly every day in my office, nearly every day. I get someone come in and the biggest complaints are bloating, gas, lack of energy. Maybe they got some arthritis going on. Maybe they got some brain fog going on. This is very, very common. Those are kind of like the big three. Maybe they've been taking some anxiety, depression medication along with it. Very common to see all of these. And all of these are related to diet. So, for example, this person came in and they admitted, although they're using organic, they drink a massive amount of coffee. Why are they drinking a massive amount of coffee? Well, they're doing it because they're low in energy. And oh, by the way, this person said, I've been diagnosed with adrenal fatigue. Yeah, no kidding. That much coffee eventually is going to cause you some fatigue. And so what do? You rely upon coffee again to stimulate you to get you through the day. Or maybe it's soda or something else or some other sugary food to stimulate you constantly through the day. But it's destroying your microbiome. It's destroying the stomach acids. And this is where I want to begin. First of all, when you get your organic food, I want you to use your mouth as a blender. Chew, 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 because it's the right thing to do. Chew, 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 because it's the right thing to do. I want you to memorize that. And remember, every time you eat, chew, 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 because it's the right thing to do. Why is that? Well, when you start chewing, then you start breaking down the food. And when it hits your stomach, it's not going to have to work as hard to digest that food. However, you're going to want to take a digestive formula because as we age, we don't have near the enzymes in our body, nor do we have the stomach acids that we need to break down food. So it becomes really hard in our body to break this food down when we're not chewing it properly, and then we're not digesting properly. Further, if you have low stomach acids, it's going to allow your body to pass through parasites more easily. This gets asked commonly. A person with joints, that's usually because of heavy metal. Not joints with arthritic joints, it's usually because of heavy metals and parasites. Well, how do I get parasites, David? Well, you're going to get parasites if you have animals. Do you have pets? Have you been in a public restroom? Have you eaten pork? How much sushi have you eaten recently? Have you had antibiotics? So when parasites don't come from antibiotics, but parasites kill the good microbiome in your gut that can kind of handle that. But stomach acids are going to be your first defense against some of these parasites surviving. For those of you who had gastric bypass, your chances of avoiding parasites the rest of your life have just diminished about several hundredfold because you don't have near the stomach acids that you need. So it's really important to take a digestive formula. We sell them here at the office. A really good brand I've been using for the last 25 years myself personally. So it's really important, especially as we age, to be sure we take some kind of digestive formula to get those stomach acids up so we digest the food. So two things, chew, 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 because it's the right thing to do. Take a good digestive formula. Then the next question people usually bring up is, what about probiotics? Yes, you're going to need probiotics. You're going to need a good form of probiotics, one that can get through those stomach acids and pass through it into the duodenum and into the small intestine. So really important to have a really high quality probiotic. And of course, we sell really high quality, very good probiotics. I've tested them on myself over the years because I used to have really high amount of fungus and yeast candida in my body. And so usually as we're having this conversation with our clients, it comes up, we talk about energy and we talk about, other things like, oh yes, by the way, I have this rash on my skin. Yeah, and how long have you had that? And it comes to find out, oh yeah, by the way, when my doctor tested me, my enzyme levels in my liver were way off. Oh, in fact, by the way, I have a fatty liver. Oh, I see, fatty liver. Well, it makes total sense. Oh, and one other thing, I got a fatty liver and I'm taking special hormone shots because my hormones are off. But boy, that's made a difference. Well, okay, now you're treating symptoms. And your hormones off, your thyroid's catawampus, your adrenals are shot, and you've got a fatty liver. This is disaster. Total disaster for the body. I mean, this body chemistry is so off that it's going to take a while to restore this, especially if you go about it the old-fashioned way. When I say the old-fashioned way, I mean if you're taking meds, you're never going to get there. Now, if you're taking supplements, you're going to get there, but not near as fast as if you did some colon hydrotherapy and did some liver detoxification first. When you do those two, when we open up that detoxification pathway by doing colon hydrotherapy, we're going to speed all of this process up because we got to get the junk out of the trunk in order for your body to respond. Because remember, as I've talked about in previous episodes, every organ in your body connects to the colon and small intestine. More neurons there than your spinal column. So it's really important to have proper bowel management. Bowel care has to start first. Hey, we're going to come back in a minute and continue this conversation. I'm David DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center, where miracles begin by healing from within on the Whole Body Detox Show, KIDO 580, 107.5 FM, 580 AM. We'll be right back. All right, David DeHaas here from Living Waters Wellness Center on the Whole Body Detox Show. And we've been talking about getting the body back into balance. And we started with talking about how we properly buy the right foods and we eat them properly. In other words, we chew them until they're juice. We take a proper digestive formula, get those stomach acids up. Because if you don't, you're going to have a pancreas that's got to go into super high gear. And I'm going to tell you a story that was shared with me about 25 years ago. At this time, as a gal that worked in a lot of cancer centers, and they did a study with, and I can't remember the name of the study, but it's a famous study, and they did a study with cats. And they gave the cats, they divided them into two groups. And they gave one group of cats dead food with no enzymes. They gave another group of cats raw food, lots of enzymes. Now, the dead food group, those cats, by fifth generation, could not reproduce, could not have babies. Their coats were mangy, and they were lethargic. Now, the other group, they had the live food with enzymes. They had shiny coats. They were rambunctious, large litters of kittens. So, their pancreas was working great. The other group, not so great. So it ought to be a lesson to us all that it's really, really important to make sure that we're getting live foods with enzymes. So that means buying organic. That may mean some juicing. That may mean some lightly steamed or even raw from time to time. So that you have real whole food. Now, I'm going to say if you're juicing, you're going to ramp up the amount of micronutrients your body is going to be able to absorb. And that's really, really important because your body needs, every cell, 50 trillion cells, needs those micronutrients to fire the mitochondria. Those are the little engines in your cells. The mitochondria is what fuels you, propels you forward. But if you're not getting the micronutrients, now the body is out of balance. And it says, okay, I got to get them from somewhere. Where am I going to get them? So there's this SOS that goes out, and literally your body starts robbing Peter to pay Paul. In other words, it says, hey, I need some zinc, or I need some selenium, I need some calcium. Where am I going to get it? And it's usually going to be those least essential organs, like the bone, maybe the muscle tissue, the hair, the nails. So for those of you who have weak nails, hair falling out, I had a young gal the other day, her hair's falling out. She's got, her nails are super weak. She uses fake nails. And this has been going on for a while. And I said, yeah, you don't have a good source of micronutrients getting absorbed into your body. So absorption is key here. So taking good quality nutrients that get absorbed is really, really, really important. Okay, so now back to the typical thing that we see here. We got the brain fog going on. We can't think clearly. We've got itchy skin. We've got a rash going on. Look at, and we've got liver enzymes that are messed up. We got a fatty liver. Okay, how do we get this back to balance? Because if you have all those things, the other symptoms are going to be thyroid issues and hormone issues. It just goes with the territory. So you already know. Now you have the MO. By the way, I talk about this in the webinar. 4 Natural Laws of Healing. 4naturallawsofhealing.com. It's at the top of the livingwaterscleanse.com website, or just go directly to it. Watch it. I give you what you need to know. It's basic laws. It's really like basic math. It's really simple. 2 and 2 does equal 4 at the end of the day. You got to do all these things properly in the order. Okay, so now this brain fog stuff going on, right? So when we see people come through our 10-day healing retreat, and I say it's the fastest, quickest, easiest way to get your mind back, get your body back, to get functioning again, get your hair growing again, get your nails solid. And you can actually put, sometimes people say, gee, I can't afford it right now. Or I don't have the time to do it right now. Like I was telling this gal today, I said, look, you're really at this point where either you do it now or I'm not going to be an option. And the option you're going to have is going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Tens of thousands. I see it all the time. You'll spend it, and then you won't be able to work. You won't be able to take care of your kids. You won't be able to go on vacation. You won't be able to do all those things that you think you need to do right now because you're going to be way too sick. I know. I've lived it. I've been down that road. I traveled the wrong road for a while, and then once I finally started learning and took care of myself. So, we got to put ourselves priority first. You mothers, you guys are the worst. I don't know why, but it seems like, okay, moms, you're built that way, and it's good because because of it, you keep your kids alive. But, you think, I'll take care of everyone else first. I will go without shoes, I'll get my kids shoes. I'll go without food, I'll get my kids food. I'll go without vitamins, I'll get my kids vitamins. I mean, this goes on all day long. But guess what? At the end of the day, moms, you got to be healthy. If you're healthy and moms, your brains are clicking, then guess what? The rest of the household's clicking. Everyone else, that they say, what's that saying they say that a rising tide raises all boats? Well, mama's tide's got to raise first, because when mama's healthy, everyone else is going to be clicking as well. And you'll be able to see things that's happening in your family, and you'll be able to take care of those kids and direct them in the right direction that you need to do, because you're going to have the energy to do it. When you're sick, you get the brain fog, and you're just trying to suck down massive cups of coffee every day to stay awake and to keep your brain functioning, and you're missing out, knowing that you're missing out at your home, you're missing out probably at work, you're not getting instructions right. So there's a lot of things that go downhill. I've always advocated to employers. In fact, I've called employers before who've had very sick people. And I said, look, you let this person have a couple of weeks time off, they're going to come back, and you're not going to be, right now, maybe you're paying $10 an hour. No, you're effectively paying about $50 an hour because they're only 1/5 productive than they should be. So if you want to be more productive in life, you got to have your health running at optimum speed. So digestive. We got to have the digestive enzymes. Now, the other big thing that's really tough to control in this world, it seems, is stress. Stress is a big one, and the stress toll that we take on raises our cortisol levels, and so they're always on. And when they're always on, you're going to gain fat. That's why your body was made. You're in that fight or flight stress mode the entire time. Your body actually stores fat. So for those of you who aren't losing weight and you're stressed, and you can't see why that 10 pounds, that 20 pounds won't come off, or you keep gaining weight, that's one of the reasons why. That and the heavy metals and the chemicals that you're ingesting every day. So we have a product down here called Cortitrol. I love this product. It makes you feel relaxed but alert, and you're not on that wired all the time. Even though you can be super tired but have the stress meter just going up, blowing off on all cylinders. So it's really important to bring that under stress. Another great tool to use that I've taken up in the last 4 years is meditation. Now, at first I thought, like many of you maybe think, oh my God, I don't have time to meditate. Or maybe you can't quiet your mind. But I've got to tell you, I found a really great program that I like to use, and I've been using it. And if you want to know what that is, reach out to us at Living Waters Wellness Center. We'll talk to you about it. But I've been using it, and I love it. It's been excellent, and it's helped me in so many ways in my business life, my personal life, and so many other ways as well. So meditation, taking time out, you got to have a little something for you. And I got to tell you guys, I've always been the one that's denied myself that ability to do that. I mean, I've lived. I'm preaching here because I've lived it. I understand. I mean, I've pulled all-nighters many nights. I've did all the wrong things for so many years, and I paid for it dearly with my health. And fortunately, I've been able to reverse it thanks to what we're doing here at Living Waters. Okay, so stress is a big one. So if you're under stress, you're not going to digest your food as well, which is really important to do. That digestive. So we talked about the digestive enzymes. We talked about taking the Cortitrol, getting your stress. Now let's talk about micronutrients. Micronutrients are so important. And I got to tell you, years ago, when I was looking, this is back in the early 80s, 70s, 80s, and there was a lot of controversy back then about are vitamins worth it. But I'm going to come back on the other into this. We're going to talk about micronutrients and how important it is to have those micronutrients in your body. Because I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me that was so amazing because I was able to heal a torn meniscus. And since then, as I've been working with other clients throughout the years, I've seen people reverse their night blindness, where they can't see. I had someone the other day says, oh yeah, by the way, in addition to all these other things, my sight's getting worse and worse and worse. Well, yeah, when you don't have the nutrition coming in, your body again has got to give up something to save the body and keep it running. So it could be your eyeballs are oxidizing. That's how we get cataracts, glaucoma, all those things. So there's actually key nutrients that you can ingest on a daily basis. We'll talk about that when we come back right after this break. I'm David DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center, where miracles begin by healing from within. Stay tuned. You can't treat the body and heal it a piece at a time. You have to treat the whole body naturally. That's why Living Waters Wellness Center 10-day healing retreat is so successful in helping what I call the incurables back to wellness. Here's what a few clients had to say about their experience at Living Waters Wellness Center.
For over a year, I've been dealing with gas pains, stomach pains, and it's been waking me up in the middle of the night, so I never get a full night's rest. And last night, after my first colonics, I slept through the entire night without any stomach pain or any kind of issues.
I suffered from migraine headaches for 12 years, once a month, and since I did the 10-day retreat at Living Waters Wellness Center 8 years ago, I have not even had a migraine. I've not even had a headache.
I had back pain on my left side for about 20-25 years. After the 10-day healing retreat, the pain is completely gone.
To learn more about the 10-day healing retreat, go to healingtheincurables.com or call the office at 208-378-9911. That's 208-378-9911. The preceding examples may not be typical of your experience and may not be right for you. Seek the opinion of a qualified healthcare professional before determining if cleansing is right for you. All right, welcome back to Living Waters Wellness Center's Whole Body Detox Show. I'm David DeHaas, your host, and you're listening to us on KIDO 580 AM, 107.5 FM. And by the way, guys, if you just listen to bits and pieces as you're driving around, you're working in your garden, there is an app that you can download so you can carry this on your smartphone wherever you're out in the country. But we also have a podcast. And wherever you get your podcast, whether it's Apple or any of the other platforms, just put our name in, Whole Body Detox Show. We've got some great episodes. In fact, the most downloaded episode has been my interview with Dr. Ellen Tart Jensen. And we talk about the history of colon hydrotherapy. And she tells her own story, as well as that of Dr. Jensen's, and the hundreds of thousands of people they helped heal through the years by taking the time to teach people how to take care of their bowels, because it all starts in the bowels. The bowels, that's your second brain. And when you watch the webinar, 4 Natural Laws of Healing, 4naturallawsofhealing.com, it's there on our website at livingwaterscleanse.com. When you watch that, you're going to see the iridology chart, and you're going to see all the different organs that connect to the gut. It's every single one of them. It's your brain. So those of you with depression, that's transverse colon. You're on bipolar medication, it's your gut. It's your transverse colon. 90% of your serotonin gets made there. Depression, anxiety, transverse colon. You got to begin with healing that up. And then when you get the nutrients, you get the nutrients absorbed into your body, then your body's chemistry is going to start to change. And we add that to that, doing proper meditation, when we start adding all these ingredients in and detoxifying the liver, we do all these tools together, get rid of the parasites, you're going to have a whole different chemistry in your body. Okay, so we talked about micronutrients. So I got to tell you a story. I promised you the story. Here's my story. I love to play basketball. In fact, in my 20s and 30s and early 40s, it's like that made my day. I get up at 6 a.m., be on the court by 6:10. I'm playing basketball, and I love it. I love the game. But in 1991, inexplicably, I was guarding a guy that went pro, a guy named Chris Childs, and we're down at Boise State University. And I had a little, I'm guarding down court. The guy was really fast, and I twisted just a little bit and pop. I heard the pop, and I went down, and I knew it wasn't good. Well, I tore my ACL, and I tore my meniscus. And I knew walking away it wasn't good because I could feel it clicking. Of course, I went and had it checked out by 3 different doctors, took an MRI, and proved, yep, meniscus tore, ACL's definitely tore, you need surgery. Well, fortunately, about that time, my road towards better living shifted. I met a homeopath who said, don't have surgery right now, David. You're not fit to undergo this surgery right now. So I listened to him. I put off surgery for 3 years. It wasn't until 1994 they finally had surgery. But during that time, I ran into a nutritional products company made by a company called New Skin, and I began taking their supplements in 1992. And I'm going along. I'm taking the supplements twice a day, and 6 months into it, it's like, yeah, I really notice a difference now. My energy's better. I'm feeling better. My wife says, oh, yeah, you're definitely better. Well, I still had to have the surgery done, and I hadn't played any basketball for a while, so I finally had the surgery done in 1994. And I went to surgery, and I told the doctor, I said, Doc, one thing's clear. You save that meniscus, you sew it up, whatever, buff it up, whatever you got to do. I need that. Because I like to play basketball. I don't want to be bone on bone like some of my friends are at 32 years of age. I want to save this, okay? So the doctor says, got it, no problem. I come out of surgery and I asked the doctor, I said, Doc. Of course, I'm still coming out of anesthesia. And it's more like, Doc. Anyway, I says, how is my meniscus? He says, perfect, like brand new. And I hesitated. I went, Doc, the meniscus, my knee, my right knee. How's it look? He goes, David, like brand new. I said, did you have to do anything to it? No, it's perfect, like brand new, like I told you. I looked at him, I said, are you sure you operated on the correct knee? He says, David, I've got a video of it. Yes, you can see where the sutures are down there. Yes, I got the correct knee. It's like new. And I went, wow, really? This absolutely blew me out of the way. But as I continued to study nutrition, it began to make sense. Your body can heal and repair. If you've got osteoporosis, you can shift that around. I've seen it happen since then. I've seen people with night blindness not have night blindness. Why? Because they started getting good nutrition into their body. So for those of you buying the cheap form of supplements, if you're just buying them from off the store shelf, say an Albertsons or a Rite Aid or any of those, and you're spending $20, $30, look at those things. I've tested them over the years. They're junk. They don't even break apart. I've been in many a chiropractor's office who's shown me x-rays of these capsules undigested in the lower part of the colon. All they're going to do is enhance the toilet bowl. Probably clink when they hit it. So it's really important to have a good quality supplement. By the way, and we sell those here at Living Waters. The same one I've been taking since 1992. I still advocate for, have been using because it's made a huge difference in my life. I remember years ago, I go to the eye doctor every year. And he said, yep, David, you need a new set of glasses, you need a new prescription, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, God, well, how can I slow this down? I mean, am I going to be blind by the time I'm 40? And the doctor would just look at me and go, I don't know. I mean, he had no answer. I thought, well, there's got to be some way, right? Well, I have proven that since 1991, my prescription is barely changed. Changed a tad, but not much. And it's because of the nutrition. There's a product we have down here, and it's got an ingredient called GAC in it. And GAC's a fruit that grows in Vietnam. It's got 3 other fruits too. But I've seen people who have had readers not have to have readers. I've seen people who have had night blindness that can't drive at night. They can now start driving at night. So this is a really powerful, highly absorbed product. And we have a tool down here that we've been using for about 20 years now that actually measures the antioxidants absorbing into the tissue of your body. And I love it because it proves how well you're doing nutritionally and actually can prove whether your supplements work or not. In fact, Dr. Oz has had it on his show, and he's had the old audience scan. Most of the audience scanned really poorly. Very few scanned where they needed to be scanned. And he, Dr. Oz, who does all the right things, scanned significantly. He was the highest in the audience, of course. So I love this machine, and if you want to try it, just call the office at 208-378-9911. I don't think I've ever laid this out there for anybody. So if you're listening today, you're lucky. 208-378-9911. Call the office and say, hey, I want to come in and I want to get a scan. Now, normally we charge $25 for this, but if you come in, you call us this week, come in, and we'll do it for free. Totally free. All you got to do is fill out the intake form and come in and call the office and say, hey, I want that antioxidant scan, and I want to see what my number is. All right? So you do that, come in this week, and we'll test it because, guys, look at it. It's really important to have this nutrition. At the end of the day, that's what rebuilds and repairs. We got to get them absorbed. And of course, one of the other tools that I use to get high quality food, because remember, where does it all start? It starts with digestion. It starts with getting proper nutrients. We got to get the gut clean. We got to get the small intestine clean. So when we come back here in a few minutes, I'm going to tell you how you're going to get the rest of the gut clean, how you're going to boost the amount of absorption into the bloodstream, opening up that fourth highway and clearing out that highway so it gets right to the cells. When we come back in a moment. I'm David DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center on the Whole Body Detox Show, where miracles begin by healing from within. All right, David DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center on the Whole Body Detox Show. We're back. And so we've been talking about micronutrients and how we increase the absorption. And so one of those ways we got to do is we got to get the villi, what I call the shag carpet of the gut, clear. Now, in the webinar, 4 Natural Laws of Healing, you're going to see my analogy there that the villi of the gut is much like shag carpet. They're supposed to have very tight junctures. But if you've got parasites and old matter, old gunk in your trunk, you're going to have a problem because you're not going to get that absorption. It's all about what you absorb. So one of the things you want to do is you want to be on a really good quality fiber product because most people are not getting enough fiber. And if you are, great, but it's rare. So we use a combination down here of clay and psyllium. And the reason why we use that is because that clay helps pick up some of those heavy metals and toxins in your gut, and the psyllium bulks up and literally moves through like a street sweeper. Now, if you're constipated, we won't put you on it right away because we got to get the bowels open. So how do we get the bowels open first? Well, if you're constipated, when I say constipated, that means you're pooping once every other day or every 2 days or every 3 days or worse, every 6th day, then you need to come down here and use water. You got to do some colon hydrotherapy. So colon hydrotherapy is going to be your best friend. And come on down and we will show you what colon hydrotherapy is. In fact, go to livingwaterscleanse.com and / and then colon hydrotherapy .html, and you're going to see a 10-minute video on how a colonic is done. It's really easy. Or under modalities on the website. Really easy to find at livingwaterscleanse.com because you want to know how colonic's done. So simple, so private, so easy. It's not messy. It's not stinky. You're not going to be embarrassed. You're all covered up. It's really simple to do. It's a shower on the inside. But we got to get that gut open because we want to clean that out. And we got to give some place for those parasites to go out. Because most everyone listening to this show, when I say most, 99.9999999% of you have parasites. Some are big, some are nests. But on full moon, in fact, in this week, you should have known it because they probably made you do some things you normally wouldn't do, maybe more irritable, maybe not feeling so good because they're laying their babies on the cycle of the full moon. And it is a time when the hospitals, fire departments, police departments, super duper busy because people are doing things because of the parasites. Parasites have energy, they're pooping and peeing in you, they're causing all kinds of havoc. Like I say, arthritis, parasites, heavy metals. We got to get this stuff out of the trunk. So those are 2 things you can take to help get things moving. And then, again, we got to get stuff absorbed. So the other thing that I use to get a lot of micronutrients in my body, because for me, it's like, at my age, I want all the micronutrients I can get. Because as we age, we're not absorbing near as well as we should be, unless we're doing colon hydrotherapy and doing all the right stuff. So invest, my friends, in a really high-quality juicer. The little $99 ones from Jack LaLanne. I love Jack LaLanne. Amazing guy. Everyone should try to be like a Jack LaLanne. But his juicers, okay, they'll get you by and maybe find one used for a few bucks. You start there. That's where I started years ago. Don't blame you. But a good masticating juicer is where you want to invest your money. The one that I use, I like the Omega 800, and I like the Omega 843J. And they going to centrifugal force of those juices are about 80 to 40 RPM, whereas a Breville or a Jack LaLanne or some of these centrifugal force juicers are at 10,000 RPM. Well, the problem with that is they're fine. You juice it, but then you got to drink it right then. I now juice it all at once, maybe several bags of carrots and celery juice, and then I vacuum seal it. We talked about it in the previous show. And I vacuum seal it, so I have my jars of juice, quart jars of juice, all ready to roll. Every day I can just go in there, pull out 32 ounces of juice, and I put it down 32 ounces of juice. And it's not going to be oxidized. It's going to be fresh juice. And that's what you want. So lots of micronutrients that way. You're going to see your antioxidant score boost up by doing that. But I still take supplements, guys. Look, I see supplements. Some people, gee, I don't want to spend $2 a day or $5 a day. Well, you're spending probably $5, $10 a day, a lot of you, on lattes and stuff that aren't good for you. I mean, you're spilling stuff on you at the convenience stores that aren't serving your higher good, or you're buying junk in the inner aisles where you shouldn't be shopping anyway. So guys, invest in you. Invest by getting the proper nutrition. And so those are two quick, easy ways to get high amounts of dense micronutrients into those cells. And the reason why I want to clean that gut up is so that the what I call the shag carpet. Remember, you watch the webinar, 4 Natural Laws of Healing. You're going to see that analogy of the shag carpet. You want that nutrition flowing into that villi, into the blood. Now, why is the blood dirty? Blood's dirty because of a dirty liver, because of your environment, the foods, the drinking you've done in the past, all this stuff. But it can be reversed. I've had people with cirrhosis, fatty liver, hepatitis C. We've seen it reversed by cleaning out the body, cleaning out the liver, and getting the right nutrients in there to literally break down that gunk that's in the blood. And too many of you have really thick, turbid blood. It's caused by the way you've lived your life. And face it, you're in Treasure Valley, there's a lot of pollution out there. Not to mention what you've been ingesting pollution-wise. And we've all done it. We've all done it. There's very few people that have not done it. It's a rare person I met who has eaten perfectly throughout their whole entire life. So it's really important we clean up that blood, and there's ways to clean it up. In addition to doing what we do here at Living Waters, there's some products that you can get to help clean up the blood as well. And one of the reasons why the hospitals are having a heyday right now with valve replacements, because your blood's so turbid. It's one of the reasons why you're tired and your heart's pumping and pumping. It's working so hard, and it's pumping this milkshake type liquid through, which should be more like water. It should be really easy to pump that blood, but it's not. It's because of the toxicity in your body. And if you don't take means to turn that around now, you're going to have one of those valve replacements, and it's a lot of money, and you're not near as well as you need to be to live your life properly. Look at, we're on this planet once. Right? And I know you've got addictions. I know, oh my God, I can't give up my coffee. This gal told me, I can't give up my coffee. I can't give it up. I said, you sound like a meth and a heroin addict. And she looked at me. I goes, yeah, it's no different. An addiction is an addiction. I don't care if it's sugar, Pepsi, aspartame-laden Pepsi, or it's wine, or it's alcohol, or whatever. Look at some of that stuff, heroin, meth, it's an addiction. Your autonomic nervous system says, hey, I need those chemicals. It's what I crave, baby. This is the way you and I have been operating forever. That's the little voice. And I don't care how many Tony Robbins tapes you listen to. You can say all the mantras, I'm healthy, I'm well, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to eat that bad stuff. But you're going to, because your body is craving it, and your body will win until you reverse it. And the quickest way to reverse it is our 10-day healing retreat. I've had heroin, meth addicts, sugar addicts, and they came in here, and I was a sugar addict, guys, and I cut the sugar by changing the chemistry in my body, and I did it on a 10-day cleanse. It was a game changer. And that's why I said, why? Why would we do a 10-day cleanse? Why would anybody do anything else? Let's just do a 10-day. It's awesome. It's quick. It's the highest return on your investment. You can be well in 10 days. You can be a different body, a different brain. I'm going to tell you, Tony Robbins has colon hydrotherapy beds in his home, in his retreat in Tahiti, And some of the retreats he does here in the States, he brings in cold hydrotherapy beds. In fact, we are featured, Living Waters are featured with Tony Robbins' #1 coach. And he says, if you want to get it upstairs, if you want to be thinking clear upstairs, you got to heal the gut first. Hey, it's been a great show. Been love having you here. Coming this week, take advantage of that offer to get your antioxidant scan, see where you're at, because knowing is being able to make a change to do something better for yourself. Call the office at 208-378-9911. I'm David DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center, where miracles begin by healing from within. You can't treat the body and heal it a piece at a time. You have to treat the whole body naturally. That's why Living Waters Wellness Center 10-day healing retreat is so successful in helping what I call the incurables back to wellness. Here's what a few clients had to say about their experience at Living Waters Wellness Center.
For over a year, I've been dealing with gas pains, stomach pains, and it's been waking me up in the middle of the night, so I never get a full night's rest. And last night, after my first colonics, I slept through the entire night without any stomach pain or any kind of issues.
I suffered from migraine headaches for 12 years, once a month, and since I did the 10-day retreat at Living Waters Wellness Center 8 years ago, I have not even had a migraine. I've not even had a headache.
I had back pain on my left side for about 25 years. After the 10-day healing retreat, the pain is completely gone.
To learn more about the 10-day healing retreat, go to healingtheincurables.com or call the office at 208-378-9911. That's 208-378-9911. The preceding examples may not be typical of your experience and may not be right for you. Seek the opinion of a qualified healthcare professional before determining if cleansing is right for you.